Welcome, this is Sakari, creator of One Mandala. In this tutorial video, I will show you how to get started with One Mandala and how to create beautiful digital mandalas and animate them to create mesmerizing living sacred geometry art in no time. In One Mandala, everything is made out of layers. Layers of circular formations that are based on number of points around a circle and recursion of that shape around the layer. There are over 40 parameters that affect the drawing of the layer. Here we will first look at some of the basic parameters that most affect how the layer is going to look. Let's look at first how you can adjust the parameters of a layer. On the bottom right you can see the 4-colored compass controller with the 4 leaves in 4 directions and the icons around it. With the compass controller you can adjust the most commonly adjusted parameters like scaling the layer, increasing the number of points, decreasing the number of points, increasing recursion, which means how the layer expands itself recursively around itself, decreasing the recursion depth. With a recursion of 0 we only have the base layer. So here you can see that everything is based around circles. So now if I increase the recursion, we see the shape copy itself around itself. And how the layer copies the base shape is affected by the radius ratio parameter. So these parameters are the most commonly used parameters. And you can adjust them also with a fine tune by enabling the fine tune adjustment. This means that all adjustments are applied with a fine parameter value. So this enables fine-tuned adjustment of all your parameters. You can toggle it on and off to see the difference. Now let's look at how you can adjust all of the parameters. On the left side you can see the parameter panel. You can change the panel group by pressing on the arrows on the top. All the parameters are grouped into sections that are related to each other. So let's look at the basic parameters. Go back to first. You can change the panel tab by pressing on the icon here. And you can see the current value of a parameter by tapping on the parameter icon. Here we see the radius ratio parameter, the scale, the radius, and the rotation angle. Now, if you want to reset a parameter, you first tap on the icon to select it, and then you hold down to reset the value back to defaults. This way you can easily experiment and go back to the default value. For example, resetting the radius ratio here returns back to the original form. Now, let's look at how you can toggle different drawing features on and off. On the second page here, you can see that these icons have this gray area below them. This is a LED button indicator that means that the parameter is currently toggled off. If we tap on the curve radius parameter here, you can see that it enables the curve drawing. And we can adjust the related curve radius parameter with the plus and minus next to that toggle. We have a bunch of toggles here you can toggle on and off, like drawing of the stars, drawing of the points, drawing the base form, drawing origo lines, and filling the shape. You can also see here in the last tab of this panel that this line width icon has a toggle below it. It means with this you can easily toggle the drawing of the lines from here. And yeah, that's it, how you toggle different draw features on and off. Now that we have the basics covered, let's look at how you would compose your mandala patterns. The basic idea of mandala creation in One Mandala is that you copy your layer after you have found a nice base layer, and you copy and repeat adjusting multiple layers at the same time by toggling select all. So let's look how we can do that. We can copy the layer by pressing on the middle of the compass button on the copy layer icon, like this. Now I can adjust the second layer by scaling it up, and you can see we already have a nice pattern forming there. So the basic idea is that now you can toggle the select all button next to the fine toggle, like this. Now you can see that the select all button shows all and two in parentheses, indicating that two layers are being modified at the same time. Now if I modify, for example, the radius ratio like this, it will modify two layers at the same time. This is the basic idea of mandala creation in One Mandala. You find a beautiful shape, and we can also change the color from toggle the color picker here on the next to the compass, like this. So now let's change the color of these two layers to something like this. And let's find a beautiful shape there that is nice in this moment. Let's say that is nice. And now we can copy these two layers again, like that. And then we can scale them down, for example, and find new formations in the interference of all these layers. And let's change the color of those to something nice. For example, like that. This is the basic idea how you compose mandalas in One Mandala. You find a nice basic shape, you copy it, you toggle select all, and you modify all the layers at the same time. Then you repeat this process of copying and adjusting until you find a nice pattern. Now that you have found a beautiful pattern, we recommend saving it. You can save it from opening the menu from the top left on the menu bar button and selecting the arrow down icon, which means save scene. This way you can always go back to this shape you found by opening the menu and selecting the folder option. And here we can always go back to the shape that we had. This way you can freely modify your layers, and if you mess it up, you can always go back easily by loading the previous version. Don't be afraid of saving your scenes. You can always delete them if you don't need them. Let's look at how you can select individual or multiple layers. On the top right you can see the layer list as frames displaying previews of the layers. Now you can select individual layers by tapping on one of the layers from the frames like this, or by pressing the up and down arrows, which selects the next or previous layer. Now if I would like to select two layers at a time, I can hold down on one of the layer frames like this and swipe right or left. Let's select those green layers, like that. Now you can only adjust the green layers and fine-tune your scene to find even more beautiful patterns. And if I want to select the blue ones, I tap on that, swipe right, and now I'm adjusting the blue layers. This is a bit limited at this point, you can only select 4 layers at a time, but we will improve this in the future releases. Now, let's still look at remaining layer operations, arranging and deleting. If I would like to move these green layers behind the blue ones, I can select the 2 green layers and press the Arrange Backwards button here, like this. I can also bring them back to the front, like that. And if I would like to delete, for example, these blue ones, I select the blue ones and I hold down the delete for a while, like that. Let's look at one last thing. The fine-tune adjuster found on the bottom left here. This adjuster adjusts any parameter that you have selected by tapping on the icon. For example, the scale. If I now hold down on the fine-tune adjuster and move upwards or downwards, it will adjust the value in a very fine manner in an analog way, giving you the power to control your mandalas with the touch of your fingertips. And also fine-tune is affected here, so if I toggle fine-tune off, also this adjustment is applied to the fine-tune adjuster. This way you can really hone down on whatever value you're looking for your parameters. And that's it. That's the basic operations of how to use One Mandala. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe to my channel for more tutorial videos in the future. This was Sakari from One Mandala signing off. Bye bye.